Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sleep Red Guys channel. And if you guys could see on the screen here, now is extremely late. And honestly, sorry for the voice. I'm just extremely tired. But we have to do this, guys. And honestly, I finished up so much past papers on this channel since we started for this year. Honestly, guys, the last count. So we start in June 2022. All right, so let's go into it. So it says here, identify the two main types of research data she would need to gather in order to establish a business. There are only two types of data: primary data, then primary data, and we have secondary data. So the two types of data that she would need, it's only 2 marks. We don't need to explain any more on that. So state one source of each type of data identified in AI. So primary data, this is very simple. Data that could be found in news, it could be found in interviews, questionnaires, and you basically get the gist of it. Primary data can be found in interviews and questionnaires, so they can be found within those two categories. And guys, I really do apologize for my voice. I'm just tired. I've been studying all night, and it is sometimes. So secondary data. So secondary data, this we could find in like newspapers. You could find this online. Maybe you could find data related to it online, or you could find it in even academic journals. So there is some places you could find these types of data. So basically, there are primary, secondary, and tertiary data. But we don't need to go into that. But for now, only these two types of data will work: primary and secondary data. In this case scenario, these 2 points will have to work. So you could take that down. Let me take this out because I think that is very distracting. Alright, so let's go on. State 4 reasons why Johnny may want to set up our own business. Let us think about this. It's very simple. If you want to establish a business, you want to make a profit. That is very and this question, any question that relates to it, why someone that wants to create a business is to make a profit. Another reason most people is create businesses, or most individuals create businesses, is to be their own boss. That's something that is very substantive. They might create a business to pursue a passion, something relating to something that they like to do. They might like to cook, so they make a business based off of that. Yeah, so to pursue a passion. Another reason they might make a business is to fulfill a need of society. So people may identify a need for a particular product or service. So they might figure out a particular need. They might identify a need for a particular product or service in their community. their community. So they might find something, some need in their community, and decide to start a business. And just for this one here, you don't need to explain like this. I'm just explaining things like this for reasons as it relates to your understanding as a viewer out there. So it's just me. You just need to state 4 points. It's only you need to look at the marks, guys. The marks are important. You just need to look at the marks. So moving on. Outline 3 steps that Johnny must take in order in setting up the cosmetic business. So first of all, the first thing that you really need to do as a owner of a business is basically develop a business plan. Now let's look at the marks. Let's see how much marks. Maybe see if we need to explain. This is worth 6 marks. That needs a bit of explaining. So you need to develop a business plan. That is one of the major things that you need to do basically. So a business plan. Business plan is a roadmap to what the business desires. This business desires its plan, strategies, and overall objectives. So that's what a business plan basically is. So sorry guys for the truth. My throat is literally cooked right now. So secondly, something that you need to do other than that is register the business. This is very basic, guys. Nothing to overthink about. You just need to stay calm, cool, and collected in the exams, and you will be okay. Alright, so depending on the legal structure. Depending on the legal structure of your business, you may need to register your business with relevant government authorities. So this is you may need to develop or not develop. You need to register. I say develop, guys. Register your business with the relevant authorities. So that is force. So force to develop a business plan because we need to do this thing in order, guys. CSEC likes art a lot. So force. So then second you register your business, and then third that you need to establish your operations. This is basically the final step. Once your business is registered, you will need to establish your business operations of your business. Alright, so after you have completed the registration process, you now need to establish your base of operations. So yeah, that's that. Easy 6 marks, guys. Nothing too difficult. I think you've enough explaining points here. I see no questions here. I think this is a different question, but I get it. So now let's go into what is a simple contract. So a simple contract in business is a legally binding agreement between two parties that outlines the terms and conditions of a transaction. That's what it basically is. Simple contract in a business is a legally binding agreement between two parties between two parties that outlines terms and agreements between two parties. Yeah, that's what basically it is. It's a legally binding agreement between two parties that outlines the terms and agreements between. And there's just some redundant between the respective just both parties of them. Yes, that could pass. I think I'm missing a S here. Yeah, so that's that for that. Now it says here, describe 3 characteristics of a specialty contract. This is very simple, but I'll need to make a video explaining these terms. But for now, let's go with the flow. So written under seal. So what does this mean in its general sense? A specialty contract must be written and signed under seal within distinguish it from a simple contract that can be oral or written. So it needs to be authorized, and it needs to be in the state of it needs to be authorized in its general sense. So let's do it's 6 marks. So we need to do a bit of elaboration. So a specialty contract must be written and signed under a seal to distinguish it from a simple contract. So they need to actually do to find the difference between the two, because a simple contract can be oral, or it can be written. But a specialty contract can only be written. Let me change this thing. I'll put it as a note right beside it, so that you guys could have the benefits. So let's change that to red. This is some notes that you should take. A specialty contract can only be written. So we have that differentiation between right there. So that's the first point. So let's move on to the second point, and it says binding on heirs and assigns. So binding on heirs and assigns, meaning that the functions of a specialty contract and the functions of a simple contract are very different in relation to what they can do and to what extent they can basically do that. So let's put that in. So we have binding on heirs. So that is one. Another one could be indemnity clause. A specialty contract often includes an indemnity clause. What's this? This includes mandatory things that must be applicable in it. Usually within a simple contract, those things can be broken, but in the case of a specialty contract, once there's broken, they do have sanctions in place to actually stop the action of itself. So let's go into that. Then we have the indemnity clause. These are some very big words, guys. Take them down. Let's see. Yes. Then we have that. A specialty contract often includes an indemnity clause. Indemnity clause. Yes, we have 3 points there. So we'll stop right there. We'll continue this segment on a later video. So see you. If you could look right up on the corner side there, guys, you will see the next video to this. So guys, thank you for your time. And as you will know about to leave, just go along in the playlist and you will see part 2. So